I don't care who you were cheering for last night, this game was stressful, but Michigan State advances on to the Sweet 16 after a tough, gritty game against Ole Miss. So let's look at some big plays throughout the game and how the Spartans were able to get it done. There's a couple things I said in the preview for the game that I want to make callbacks to. So Andrew Talks Hoops in blue is from yesterday, and then obviously I'm wearing black today. North Carolina had the right idea here with this high screen on a side, and you can see if this is someone like Jackson Kohler or Carson Cooper and they're making this dive, this might be there. I promise I'm not talking just to hear myself talk most of the time. And these swing passes are something Izzo understands they should have done more of in the Final Four. And like I said, with these tough defenses that want to keep you out of the middle, Jeremy hits Jace with a great swing pass and he knocks it down. With the amount of guards that Michigan State has that can dribble penetrate, it's going to be difficult for the Rebels to keep them out of the middle. I'm not exactly sure why it took Michigan State's guards about 28 minutes to figure that out. Once they did realize they could get into the middle with dribble penetration, it really opened things up offensively for Michigan State. This next clip in particular with Jace was one of the most important plays of the game. It was so important because it was the first time that a guard on Michigan State just wasn't going to be denied getting somewhere into the middle of the floor. This team has leaders that lead in different ways, like Jeremy and Trey lead vocally, Cohen leads with energy, and Jaden leads with poise. But Jace leads with his play, and when he started cracking the code to this Ole Miss defense, Jaden was really picking up on what he was putting down. And you can see from these clips in the second half that once Jace showed him how to get into the lane, then Jaden started getting it done as well. Not only that, Jace led in the first half with hitting some big threes, and then Jaden hit one with under 30 seconds left to go in the locker room only down 2. The biggest technical adjustment that Michigan State made at half was they began blurring screens. And a blurred screen looks like what Cooper's doing right here, where you're not really setting a screen, but you're just causing confusion for the defense, especially for a team like Ole Miss that wants to switch everything. This allows the big to dive before really setting the screen, but then it also gets to switch, so Jeremy was able to get downhill here against a big and hit a floater. I love Izzo's decision to start Cohen this game. Cohen Carr's a player that does things that it doesn't matter what defense you're in. They could have 6 defenders. The stuff that he gets done on the court, he's just not going to be denied. And it made perfect sense for him to get big minutes. And I said this on Twitter, but my favorite play of his is when he came to meet the ball on this inbound pass. This avoided a 5-second call and the potential for Ole Miss to get the ball back down 2. And let's talk about the biggest momentum shift in the game, which is Jeremy Fears reading the eyes of Padula here and coming up with a massive steal. And when you saw the replay, it would have definitely been 2 on the other end. Also, Frankie Fiddler being one of the Spartans' craftiest defenders was not an expectation I had coming into this year. He took this hit in the first half, then got this huge strip in the second half that bounced off Breakfield's leg. And we got to give him a little love for weaving through the defense with this between the legs finish. Aside from all that, probably the biggest difference in the game is Michigan State just didn't miss free throws down the stretch, and that's a winning formula.